Harrison, they might be the toughest out in the NFC, and they might be the Super Bowl favorites out of the conference. Seahawks defense, if you can stop Buffalo, it's a huge statement to the rest of the league.
Yeah, speaking of snacks, it's a treat to watch the wide receivers for the Seattle Seahawks. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, both tied for the league lead with 7 touchdowns, and they're so different. That's what's exciting about it. You know that DK is this big, strong, almost menacing wide receiver, and then you have this short, fast, electric guy, Tyler Lockett. I want to see those guys continue to have success. I'm looking at those.
I'm always fascinated by the psyche of Buffalo. This is a very dangerous game for them. Last week, they knock off New England. Sean McDermott says it's an emotional win for the city, for the team. Don't lose by 20 to Russ and the fellas. Like, this is a very dangerous game for Buffalo. You're at home. Take care of business. If you're with the big dogs, you can beat this team.
Love it. Peter, I have some trivia for you, apparently specifically sent from Matthew Hamilton. The Bills' last win over the Seahawks was back in 2008. I'd like you to tell me who scored the first touchdown for each team that day.
I would say for the Bills, it was Fred Jackson, and for the Seahawks, it was Leon Washington.
For the Bills, it was Marshawn Lynch, and for the Seahawks, it was...
Ooh.
Look up.
Nate. Was it Nate? Yeah.
Really?
Nate, did you know that?
Wow.
Yeah, I did know that because I tore my ACL in the third quarter of that game.
Well, let's move on to brighter things, like the Jaguars and the Texans.
All right, I scored a touchdown.
Sorry, Nate. AFC South showdown. You did, and you made trivia here on this November 6th. What are you looking for in this one? Nate, you get to go first because now I feel bad.
It's all right. Okay, I bounced back. I'm perfectly fine. And speaking of bouncing back, what are the wide receivers for the Texans going to do? I mean, all week we were talking about it. Schrager was talking about it. He's like, go ahead and grab any of the wide receivers for the Texans. Cooks, Will Fuller, doesn't matter. Just pull one of them and pluck them and put them on your roster. Okay, after hearing your name thrown around in trade rumors, how do you respond? I think these wide receivers for the Texans are going to ball out.
See, there's no such thing as bad matchups or bad pizza. Speaking of pizza, Nate, remember when you broke your arm reaching to save a pizza while you were driving on the street? That was a great time. Incredible thing. Jags, don't win this game. You're in position to get Trevor Lawrence. You need to lose this one. And Houston, don't let Trevor Lawrence into your division.
You know, the amazing thing is Gardner Minshew might not even be playing in this game. Jake Luton could be the quarterback. L-U-T-O.
Hey-o.
Mike Glennon might get some time.
Okay.
This is a fascinating time to be alive, and the Jaguars here at 1-6, if they got anything left, they'll do it. Nate, I would argue the ACL and the pizza incident are not as awful as that hat you're wearing today on the show. So I don't know. That's just...
Thanks, Treggs. I can always count on you to bring me back down to earth. I appreciate that.
I love you, buddy.
These two teams are very close to earth, guys. The Texans and Jags, they're both sitting there at 1-6. If either of them want something to hold on to, we have seen one team in NFL history make the playoffs after a 1-6 start. The Bengals did it back in 1970. Okay, Sunday Night Football action. This is the best matchup of the week, in my opinion. Saints and Bucks. What intrigues you on this one, Kyle?
I like the Joseph A. Bank over here doling out fashion advice. Antonio Brown intrigues me in this one. He will make an impact. It will be immediate, if only because Tom Brady will make him make an impact. Tom Brady loves Antonio Brown, like almost to a very strange level. He put his neck out to get him here. He will throw him the ball early, and Peter will spend yet another Men's Warehouse gift card.
Yeah, no, it's it. You're going to love the way you look, Kyle. Here's the deal. It's like you suffer through Packers and Bucks, or Packers and 49ers last night, which was a grueling game to watch in many ways. You suffer through Eagles Cowboys last night. This is the reward. So everybody, I will preview this game all day, but like enjoy this game. It's only going to come around every so many weeks. I love this game. I love this matchup. So many stars, so many stakes. I cannot wait.
I remember when Deion Branch signed to the Seattle Seahawks, every wide receiver on the team stepped their game up. Maybe to prove to the team that you shouldn't have brought this guy over. Even though we embraced Deion, we all wanted to prove ourselves. I guarantee the guys surrounding Antonio Brown are going to ball out as well.
I love that. Drew Brees 4-2 against Brady in head-to-head matchups. Panthers facing off against the Chiefs. This game, guys, is at Arrowhead. What are you keeping your eye on in this one? Let's go Shriggs. And it's Joseph A. Bank, not Joseph A. Bank.
Yeah, look. It's Jose, J-O-S.
Joseph, yeah.
I know it too well.
I was like, I don't know.
This is... This is one of those games where it's like there's a quarterback in Kansas City who maybe we're not talking about, and I think he got 5 touchdowns, but it was on against the Jets, and it was early last week, and maybe we're dismissing. If he does it again, all that Russell Wilson MVP talk will get very interesting if the Chiefs start getting hot. We're going to talk about it on the show, I'm sure. I just watched number 15 this week against Carolina.
Okay.
No doubt about it. He has 21 touchdowns, just 1 interception. He's definitely in the zone. Will Christian McCaffrey play? I've been hearing rumors that he's practicing. I'm looking at CMC.
All right. Well, I'm looking at Carolina versus Kansas City. This is the barbecue bowl. I'll have you know I'm smoking a 12-pound brisket on Sunday, and while I'm doing it, Kevin Burkhardt and Daryl Johnston on the call. I want barbecue references, and I want barbecue takes. Do you like a more vinegar-based sauce, or do you go with the baby backs Kansas City style? This is something I want to hear, especially if this game gets out of hand in the fourth quarter. I want barbecue takes, Burkhardt.
I got a freezer full of KC from Joe's, so KC barbecue. All right, Chiefs, guys, this is crazy. They're 16-1 in their last 17 games, dating back to last season. All right, NFC North battle, Vikings, Lions, Minnesota. What are you looking at, Nate?
I'm looking at Minnesota, my former team. It's almost like they're fake bad. You know, as much as I can appreciate Matt Stafford and the Lions, because I know what they have, I'm never quite sure what Minnesota is going to do week in and week out. I feel like they're going to catch the rhythm. Maybe it's a little too late, but I'm looking at Minnesota really trying to recapture some magic because they have way too much talent on that roster.
I don't ask for much. All I ask for is when I sit down on America's holiday on Thanksgiving to have some Will Smokies and my turkey and watch Detroit Lions football, can I have an above 500 Lions team just once? Please win this game. The problem is they have to win the next 3 to be above 500. Minnesota, Washington, Carolina. I don't think that's too much to ask. Let's go. I want an above 500 Lions team, Peter.
A good storyline here. Yesterday on the Zoom call, Everson Griffin was being interviewed, and Mike Zimmer called him a good player. Spent 10 seasons with the team, had 74 sacks. Griffin was upset and was like, I call Mike Zimmer a great coach. He calls me a good player. Everson Griffin going up against the Vikings. You want to talk about a rivalry week? This is a big one. He was called a good player by a guy who coached him for about 10 years.
Great storyline to follow there. The Vikings have won 5 straight over the Lions. That is our